Have you ever wondered why, when you have decided to take control of your life, you are drawn back by the old worthless habits that leave you in a worse state than you started? Do you want to enjoy your life and have long lasting and positive effects that prevent you from going back to the old habits and drift away from that miserable life that you dread to go back to? It is very possible for us to enjoy that kind of life. And today I'm going to share with you how you can do that. Many a times when we read inspiring content, when we read inspiring videos, they shoot some adrenaline in us, wanting to go and do what we're supposed to do. And many a times you find many people very happy. They're waking up early in the morning to do their routines with high intensity energy, to work out everything with a positive mind and a positive attitude, highly enthusiastic. Um, they're delivering assignments on time. They are responding to work so very fast because they are so motivated. But this motivation usually does not carry through. It takes a very shorter time for them to lose this kind of motivation, and it is preventing them from really enjoying them. They are enjoying their lives to the fullest, enjoying the ability to fulfill and satisfy their purposes in life. So most times we find ourselves there. Everyone has been there, where you read something on YouTube and some adrenaline has been shot into your body, and you feel so energized to go and do what you're supposed to be doing. But life never disappoints in itself. Life always will bring hard times. Life always will bring difficult times. Life will always bring days of adversity. And the people who understand how to maneuver through and walk out of these are people that come out stronger in the end. And not knowing how to go through these adverse times will keep you from being stronger ever. But today I'm going to share about how to overcome adverse times. But um, I'm going to teach you how to initially first in the first place connect uh, to the things that give you long lasting effects, that you carry your motivations throughout as you go through hard times. So like I've said, the life in itself comes with hard times, and we cannot uh, go away with that. That is life in itself. That is how the world is designed. It brings hard times to try us and test us in the things that we desire to do. And the these trials come in two ways. The they spring from, first of all, from the intrinsic things we find pleasure in. We are Whenever we intend to do something, uh, our pleasures within always align us to what we find pleasurable. When your body has grown, you've been trained in very many times to find what is pleasurable. So many times when you start to do something, you find that uh, this other thing is pleasurable, and you find yourself going back to that same thing. So in itself, it starts with what interests us. So that is what first of all comes, what life brings in, the intrinsic part, thing that interests us. But then the other things that shape the lasting effects that the environment, what the environment brings in, are the extrinsic factors. Interesting. The extrinsic factors that can be the salary you get. That could be where you're born from. I'm born from Africa, and I would say I would put myself solo because I was born from Africa, and yeah, carry that mindset. We are third world people, which of course is not true. Anyway, to continue, just So the extrinsic environment also brings, that's how it brings hard times, and most times we cannot control these uh, hard times. uh, there are risks, because in life there are risks that we have control over, and there are those that we don't really have control over, and knowing how to deal with these is very, very, very important. So as one that is going through this life, you should know how to maneuver through all this, so that you can be able to stand and have long lasting effects, right? Right, because yeah, like I said, the risks that we shall not be able to control that come through with life. You may not at a given time be able to control what salary that is coming. Of course, with time, by reason of working out your value, you can be able to change how much you receive. But as per now, maybe you're not currently. But how do you find satisfaction, and how do you continue to live through and have long-lasting effects in your life, that you remain stable, you remain of value, that you don't lose your value with time, and go back to that old miserable life. No one wants to go back to that life. When you think about the, the times you were in, and the bad times, the times of poverty, the times when you didn't have a job, the times that when you didn't have a company, or the times when you had just started the company and stuff was hard, and yeah, all those things really happen, and come to. No one wants to really go back to those times, but we respect even the harder times that also that are coming ahead, with every level that comes, every level of increase that comes through. So I want to share with you two ways that I have realized personally in my life that have really helped me to keep enthusiastic throughout my whole journey of life. And I realized many people are making these mistakes, and don't make the same mistakes. Have a control of your life, produce long-lasting motivation effects, because you see, you've started something, but this something that you've started has to last the next, let's say, 10 years. You have to be consistent the next 10 years. How do you be consistent for the next 10 years? Maybe I'll also produce a video to see how you can be consistent for the next 10 years. Interesting. But yeah, it all begins with building the right foundations. So we need to actually build the right foundations in the things that we do. So number one, the thing that will help you that keep a consistent and persistent and sustainable lasting effects of your life, that prevent you from going back to that old life, right? Because hard times are coming, man. Hard times are coming, man. But you need a sure heart that will stay to help you sustain and continue along the journey. So number one is have real mentors. Connect to real mentors. Number one, connect to real mentors. And what do I mean by real mentors? Um, you see, by nature, we human beings, when we desire to learn something, by nature we first imitate. We first imitate. That's how it is. Young babies, when they're born, all their behaviors are total sum of the imitations they get through their parents, the imitations they get through the environment, their uncles, their school, and the shaping of their behavior when they're grown up is their behavior and beliefs is primarily from their parents, the school teachers, and the society they have gone through. And many a times it's very hard to break someone's belief systems, because those things have been built over time. And yeah, so by nature, when we desire to learn something as young people, by young people I don't mean age, by young people I mean people who are like starting. When you desire to start a business, it's by nature that you start to imitate from people who have gone ahead of you. And since nature carries it that way, it's very important that you deliberately do it. You see, you can be deliberate about which kind of people to connect to as you want to grow and produce long-lasting effects. Why do I say that? Because you see, there are very many people who have presented themselves as mentors, but really, really, really have no experience of the things that they're sharing about. They are out there giving tons and tons of information, but they do not have the actual experience of the things that they share. Um, you see, there is an integrity that comes with someone who has gone through something and they share it with you, because they really have practical wisdom. They really have the wisdom that works, that has worked in their life. See, whenever you share something that has worked in your life, it has a certain level of integrity that helps, that can help someone else who is going through the same situation and scenario, to help you also, to help them also come out of it. So it's important that you connect to true mentors, people who have experience. By experience, like I said, I mean people who have stayed long enough in difficult situations to gain enough wisdom to help them maneuver through the same scenarios that they have gone through when those scenarios come back again. That's what I mean by experience. Now, number two, besides connecting to real mentors, number two, and this is also very very important, is to learn how to position your pleasures right. Like I started, and when I was starting this video, I was sharing about the importance of pleasures. You see, the actions we do are a result of what we find pleasure in. See, actions follow our interests. Our interests are what factor pleasure mainly. So whatever action you do is channeled to a certain interest that you find pleasure in. That's why it is very important that your interests are in the right pleasures, the right pleasures of life. And there's no other right pleasure of life like than finding purpose. Finding purpose. See, I'm talking about things that produce long-lasting effects. So the pleasures that you are maybe the pleasures that you are aligning yourself to are not the things that produce long-lasting effects. That's why you find yourself in a detrimental state where the things that you are placing your pleasure in are not what is producing the effect that you desire in your life. So what should you do? Position your pleasures right. Position your pleasures in interests that fulfill purpose. And what do I mean by purpose? Purpose is the ability to extend ourselves to others to help them find themselves. Let me repeat it. Purpose is the ability to extend ourselves and extend ourselves to people who who use ourselves to find themselves. Yeah, that's what really me I find as purpose. Me to find myself, uh, that another person makes themselves better in also finding themselves to stability. Jim Rohn said this statement that really uh, fascinated me. He said that leave me. Okay, let me paraphrase it. Don't remember the right statement, but he said, let me be a better me so that I can better you. Because many times we want to connect people to people, but we don't understand that the importance of connecting to each other is to be able to sharpen and improve each other. So I don't want to connect to you if I am not improving myself. Because many times they tell us to connect to right friends, but we are not ourselves right friends. I believe I am a better friend. I connect to better friends because I'm a better friend. It's not just the necessity of just connecting to people and creating lists of people, but I connect to other people because I am a better person, because I'm improving myself, because I'm working on myself. So pleasure, place your pleasure in interests that fulfill purpose. Place your pleasure in things that when you work on yourself will be able to help some other person. So the interest should be two: the things that sharpen who you are and the things that sharpen how you reach out to people. That is very very important. What sharpens you as you, and also what sharpens how you reach out to people, because the balance must be there. The balance must be between those two. How I sharpen myself to be able to sharpen others. How do I solve my own personal problems to help solve other people's problems? Because that is very important and key. That's how you produce long-lasting effects. It's very very satisfying when 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 I'm able to solve some other person's problem other than me, that in itself produces long-lasting effects. Because why? Whenever I'm able to solve mine and then connect to someone and solve them, in a way it produces a gap in me, that there's more that I need to learn. Because every time I'm solving problems there, I realize there are always gaps. There are always gaps in my working. So I go back and learn, then I learn, I solve, and I realize again another gap. So it's just like that. Those two keep on feeding each other, and you continue to produce long-lasting effects in your life. So it's very hard for you to go back to your old life, because you know your pleasures are placed in you learning to sharpen yourself and learning to help others sharpen themselves as well. And that is really purpose. So never let short fix motivations propel you, cost you your high life value. Connect first of all to real mentors with experience, and then position your pleasures right. Position your pleasures in finding yourself and in helping other people. Yes, and I believe you will find a fulfilling life, never going back to that old miserable life. Otherwise, thank you for listening to this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm sharing more and more content to help us be better people, to produce quality food and quantity food. All right, peace out.